Zelda,
Probably
and
the only person who walked away from the
Yeah, he didn't enjoy it.
really,
He doesn't like Zelda.
I said, this is just...
oh, okay.
It feels like they stuffed the game full of, like, stuff from other games, like crafting.
Well,
and-
yeah, dude. I mean, if they have to, that's the
But
standard.
Yeah, I get that, I guess, but it just seemed like everything was dumbed down, and, you know, they're, like, trying to say, look, we have ducks now. We have deers. I'm like...
No. They don't have that. They have cooking
Yes.
first. Cooking, fishing, which they've always had, hunting, right? And as
Crafting.
you'll see,
They have crafting.
crafting. Whoa,
Man, I've never
that's
seen a
new
game
to
of
the
crafting.
the Zelda franchise.
Yes.
I realize other games have it, you know, but it's new to the Zelda, and
I just don't give it any, like, fanfare because they've packaged something into their own area. Like, I'm like, well, lots of games have that already. Like, I literally saw a lot of that's in Minecraft. That's
look
in
at him
Ark.
go. Look at that. You can't do that anywhere.
Glide.
You can't glide off of a cliff.
Guild Wars 2.
Yeah.
You can. There's other games.
Well,
you
that's an
can play.
MMO. I'm talking about here.
Not
Look at
Oblivion, not Skyrim, but Morrowind you could fly. So, I mean...
So I'm
Had
not okay.
crafting.
So I'm not trying to knock Zelda. I love. The
I can see if you
I
love Zelda,
games.
why you would love that
Yes,
game.
yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I love Zelda. I love the lore. I love the characters. I love the whole everything
He's
about it.
chopping down a tree. Look
Just
at that.
the bridge.
Everything came off.
And-
Anyways, go ahead.
The game is gorgeous.
Watch it turn into meat. Oh, you cut that part out.
The game is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the art style, I really kind of appreciate the art style. I kind of am still waiting for the day that they create a photorealistic version of Zelda.
Yeah.
Like I thought they were going to go that route once Twilight Princess
Right.
came out.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
That's exactly what I was
You know what I
gonna
mean? And
mention,
then they
Twilight
went
Princess.
and made Wind Waker.
Skyward Sword was.
Skyward Sword
ooh,
and,
Jesus
and Skyward
Christ.
Sword I heard was terrible. I never played that one.
Oh,
But I heard it was terrible. I heard it was
With the
really, really
remote.
gimmicky with the motion controls and all that
oh
other
man,
jazz.
it
And I'm
was
like,
awful.
I don't
And
want
the
to use.
graphics were gimmicky.
Were they?
Too. Yeah, it's just a filter, like a paint filter. That's how it looked like.
That sucks.
So, what I'm. This is for the new Nintendo DX.
Well, it's actually for the
NX,
Wii U as well.
NX and the Wii U, but they're downgrading the graphics. Whatever. But I mean, why get it for the Wii U if you're, I don't have a Wii U, so if I'm gonna get this game, I'm getting an NX.
Well, they made us play on the Wii U.
Right.
Oh,
We
did
played-
They did, yeah.
And the controller was fucking terrible.
The
Like,
controller
you had to
is
hold
huge.
this huge
Yeah.
screen
Yeah.
while you're when all you need is like a little.
Which-
When you're holding this like 8-pound device.
Now, did they have something on the screen?
You could
map.
switch the game
Okay.
to it for some fucking reason. I don't
It's
know
so
who-
people could watch TV. That was the whole point of the Wii U, is that you're not impeding on family wanting to do other things. So you just switch the game to your thing so you could play your game. That's what they did. That's what the Wii U thing was.
Well,
I
luckily
like it.
for
I
me,
don't mind.
I'm a bachelor and have no kids, so my TV is mine.
Yeah.
So
TVs, like huge TVs, are $200-300 now. You know, like
they're not expensive. But,
it's probably
but that
it
was
makes
the point.
sense if you live in
I
a,
mean, back
it
then,
makes sense if you live in a 300-foot cubicle next to Foxconn, and the only thing you get to do for fun once in a while is play some Zelda.
play my Wii U.
And you can't interrupt family time on TV while they're watching,
Well, I'm still looking forward
Government
to it.
news.
I don't care about the controller. I never got a Wii U. The thing I stopped at was a Wii, and
yeah.
but I left that out. So I am looking forward to it. I
I enjoyed it.
like
thought it
the
was
fact that it's 10 times the size of Skyrim.
great. The game is huge.
Yeah, it's
The
huge.
map, at least.
It is huge.
So, speaking of Skyrim, there was a Zelda mod for Skyrim that I immediately downloaded, immediately implemented, and so I was Link running around, and
That's cool.
doing, So it was actually like, this is what it would look like if you had a realistic Zelda
Right.
game. Realistic Link doing your thing.
That's
They
cool.
didn't have the voices though, of course. That would have been funny. That would have been great.
One thing I really did like in that game that was cool was that you could put your shield underneath and you could slide
Yeah.
with a snowboard down hills.
I
And that
think they-
looks like it could be fun if you got really good at that and you're jumping gaps and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool for a platformy
I think they,
RPG-esque game. That'd be cool.
I think they're always trying to find new ways to use your shield.
Yeah.
Table for your meals that you cook.
I like the. They have this new fast travel kind of mechanic. So there's these towers that you are able to turn on, right? You turn these towers on, and then you can. That's where you die. When you die, you spawn there.
Okay.
Right. Instead of like in like Ocarina of Time. If
Yeah.
you die, you spawn
Save.
at the last save point, or your.
I think it's the castle.
The
is
Temple
where-
of Time if you're an adult.
Yeah.
Kakariko, or not Kakariko,
Kakariko.
Kokiri Forest.
Yeah.
If you're young Link, those were your spawn points. Well, Winds of the Wild, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild.
Is it something?
I don't know. Just call it
I
something.
can't remember. Something of the Wild. You create these spawn points. You find these spawn points, and kind of reminiscent of. You ever play Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very similar to that.
Or Skyrim. I mean, everything's a checkpoint in Skyrim.
Yeah.
You know?
You pick up an apple. Checkpoint.
Yeah, like if you walk anywhere, there's pretty much a bed or something, or a town. There's all these little.
So another thing too that I thought was interesting, Zelda. This Zelda game has actual voice acting.
Whoa.
There's like actual lines.
Didn't have
Talking?
that. They didn't have that with the old man. When you run into
Art-
that first.
Right, there's still text.
Yeah.
There's still
That's
the text
fine.
read,
That's acceptable.
But when you first you wake up in the demo. You wake
It's
up.
like Zelda. Wake up.
No, it's Link.
Or, yeah, well,
Kill it with fire before it breeds.
no,
You're like
not into it.
Yeah.
whatever, losers.
Link. Yeah. Link.
Breath though, so
Breath of the Wild.
Brett.
slapped him back. Not
So-
a fan, but slapped him back.
So when you wake up, there's actual voice talking to you, like
Yeah.
audible, like it's like audible English.
Now,
God,
does
that's
Link talk
incredible.
or
Do
not?
games have that generally?
I understand where you're coming from. I
Listen,
get it.
it's new to the franchise,
new to the
okay?
Yeah, no, it's this thing that
Should I
hate.
just
It's
move
like-
on? You're
No,
weird.
no. It's good to have both opinions, you know. Like that's what I saw is I'm in a theater and all these. Oh my god! I'm like, that's in other games. Like, why does
Okay,
everyone give
I
this
agree,
fanfare
I agree,
for
I
no
agree.
reason?
And let's just face it, the show would be boring if we didn't have differences of opinion.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like, let's just not. If we want to continue having the same opinion, don't bring up Battlefield 1. Don't bring up Battlefield 1.
Okay.
No, actually, well,
I don't think I have
I'll
this.
say
I
some
don't
good
think I have
stuff
this
and bad
listed.
stuff.
So.
Okay, good. Because this guy's gonna have a heart attack. But I really enjoyed the demo. The presentation, the booth.
Yeah, amazing.
The booth was amazing.
Yeah.
Like they walk you into this like theater kind of esque area, right? After you walk through this huge tunnel, right? And then you watch this short video. I think it's the trailer that we're watching right now.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it turns into one of the dungeon doors. The screen turns into one of the dungeon doors, and then the dungeon doors kind of lift up, but then the screen lifts up as well, and you walk into this like environment. It's like you got
Looks like you're in
it
Breath
had weather,
What?
Yeah,
There was
nice.
at one point there's like
like thunder and
The
snow
lights
going off.
flash.
We're all like, what the hell? Like there's
You're all
plants.
gonna die.
There's plants. There's some of the monsters that are in there. There's like
Cool.
towers, like that.
Yeah.
You have people with bow and arrows that like sniping
they
people.
had a big life size statue of like Link pulling the arrow back, ready to shoot his like.
And there was like there's like little fire areas, and it was craziness. And not one male Nintendo worked.
Yeah, like E3 kind of killed Booth Babes, but Nintendo didn't.
I
So once you go into their area, Booth Babes are alive
they're
and well.
everywhere.
They just took
All
them all.
Dude,
Like you had a job.
Well, I think
coming
they're
up.
like, look, we're from Japan and we do Booth Babes. They're not going away.
they were all like very, very gorgeous ladies. Like,
Yeah.
and it was insane. I was like, okay.
They do a lot of.
No, none of that. None of that,
Okay,
really. The one that was each person that was in the demo got assigned a booth babe, except for him,
Yeah.
which is probably why he didn't like it.
Yeah. I'm sure you had a booth, babe.
Yeah.
No, I just.
You just didn't get convinced.
Well, what really bothered me is I walked in and I was live streaming. While me and Brandon are walking through and live streaming, when I get there, they said, "Oh, I'm sorry, you can't live stream the game unless your shoulder or your head, something part of you, is in the video." And I was like, such a weird rule, but okay. It's like, well, I don't know how to hold this 8-pound controller and have this camera view me, and I'm live streaming right now. People are watching, so what do you want me to do? And they're like, I'll hold it, and the guy holds it for like a minute, and he's like, all right, I'm done. And I was like, I don't know. All right, guys, I'm going. Bye. And then and then I'm just like mid live stream. People have been watching me and Brandon talk for like 30 minutes about building up to this, and now I get there and they don't want to like that. I was like, you know what? I was playing the game and I was kind of like, I don't know, like I would go up to a door and hit a button and it would have to pan around me and see it activate or whatever. And I was like, Why did that need to be a cutscene?
Just open the door.
Yes,
yeah,
just
that's a
instant-
problem with Zelda.
Yeah,
They-
I was just
they
like,
always
everything
do
was
that,
very
yeah.
like tedious, and I'm like, this isn't an MMO. I'm not going to log on this game. People aren't going to be impressed with my achievements on this game. So why am I spending 40 minutes on all these little tasks? It just, to me, it was like, I'm putting all this time and effort into it. It's not,
Man,
it's
I
not
don't
like
want to
baby
play
chores.
the game anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
I just killed it.
for me,
No.
for me, it's
Oh no,
it's,
you didn't do it.
it's a game that because sometimes I like a lot of online games now. Like I'm a huge Halo 5 fan, right? I love Halo 5. Okay, I love the Halo franchise.
Probably the only person, but okay.
Shut up. I love Halo, but nowadays you get on Halo and you want to play the multiplayer. Everyone is so sweaty, like they're trying to be MLG pros all the time. It's super competitive, and that's good sometimes. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm in that mood where I'm like, all right, I want to own some fools on the internet. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I'm just gonna go in and we're gonna play really hard, right? Other times I'm just like, you know, I just want to sit back. I want to chill. I just want to play a game. I don't really want to do anything else. I just want to relax, right?
Yeah.
Zelda is that game.
Yep.
Zelda will keep your interest. It's got a very interesting story, or at least something that piqued my interest.
Yeah.
And something that I would have no problem sitting on my bed in my room playing.
This
You know
is the
what-
very reason I enjoy Witcher 3.
Yeah.
I
I'm
have
not
yet
gonna
to
talk
finish
about
that
that.
game.
You
I'm
know
not
what
gonna
really
talk
got
about
me
it,
though is there's no people. The world feels extremely lonely, and I see a lot of Japanese games I'll play where it's got all
Well,
these different large worlds.
Hey
and
man,
there's no
walk
one
out
there.
into the forest. See how many people you run into.
Yeah. Well, then here's another example. Like play a game like Bloodborne, right? Where's the other?
You're killing them all.
No, but I mean, this feels lonely though when you're like looking at this devastated like.
Yeah.
There's other games like that too. Like I'm trying to think of some of them.
And
like,
when you run into an NPC, you're like, oh my god, there's somebody here.
yeah.
Thank God. Yeah.
How
Let me
have
talk
you
to you for a
They're really
moment.
trying to.
How have you
No,
been
Dead
standing in that
Space. Dead Space, a great game.
Oh man.
Everywhere you go, there's no
Just death and
one.
destruction caused by you.
You're like, hey, I see a person. Maybe they're a survivor I can talk to.
I was gonna say, actually,
big tentacle
they get me.
grabs them.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Actually, in Dead Space, you run into people, they just die
Instantly.
very
Yeah.
shortly after
They're
you
like,
meet them.
help me, help
Like-
me.
like-
I'm on my way, buddy. Whoosh. No, I'm not.
Hey,
I'm
like
there's
the-
a guy. I could be friends with him.
Yeah.
No, intro.
Crap.
Just the intro to Dead Space 2. He's like, I'm gonna help you get out of here. I'm gonna help you get out of here. Stabbed right through the face. Like, you know what I mean? Just instant death, and you're just blood everywhere.
Well, thanks, buddy.
I
Thanks a
know,
lot,
those
man.
games bother me. Like in a single player game, I don't like being in a like empty world.
Well,
There's
yeah.
monsters and stuff, but it gets to me. you know?
the idea behind the reason that the new Zelda
Yeah.
universe is so barren
Yeah.
is the Ganon calamity or cloud that's circling Hyrule Castle
Right.
has wiped out basically just isolated life. Like it's just
Right, I
not,
get
it's
it.
no longer there.
It's not just Zelda. I don't mean to just harp on Zelda.
Yeah.
There's other games, like I said, Dead Space. Another one that was coming to mind just a second ago. What was it? Shit. I'll think of it again. But there was a game that was like, the one we were talking about the other day, where you can play the 4 Apocalypse. Brain farting the name right now. You can play one of the 4 horsemen, and you go Darksiders.
Darksiders. Yeah,
Yes,
okay, yep.
that game, extremely lonely game.
Yeah.
Like you run around this huge, cool world, but you never see anyone.
Except for Darksiders
It's
2.
a huge.
Darksiders 2. start
Darksiders
beating
2,
people, yeah.
there's the Forger, his sister.
No, I know you run into a few, but I'm
Yeah.
saying
Right.
by and large,
I get where you're
Okay,
saying.
fair enough.
by and large,
See, what
it's
happened
different
was-
from Skyrim, where you run into people all over. I love that. Like I love you.
Yeah.
You're walking through the woods,
You
and
have a
some guys riding this horse and whatever, and I just love that. Like that
think-
feels like a real world.
I think in the genre, though, like Darksiders itself is like it's a God of War
yeah,
type
God of War is
game,
another one.
and it's hack and slash. I mean, you're going from point A to point B
Right.
and killing everything in the way.
Right. Diablo. Nobody.
I'm really,
running-
for me, Zelda is more of a puzzle-solving kind of game and exploration. So that's all I'm really looking.
But could you
forward to
imagine
is-
Zelda with people? Like with lots of little elves running around, stuff. It could
I
be
would
really cool.
actually start to nitpick that, like,
Really? Huh.
yeah, a little bit, like, what are you doing here? If it took me just a billion years here to figure out this puzzle, and you're already here, how did you get here? You know,
Oh,
things
okay.
like
I get
that.
in the dungeons and
Yeah.
stuff.
I would say it would be interesting. So, like, if they were to redo Ocarina of Time, for example, right, to see shipments going from the
Right.
bazaar
Yeah.
to Kakariko Village, for
Right,
example.
yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
see people
If
in
you
their
see
little
people with their boxes or
trolleys
something,
or on
They don't have
carrying
to be
these
deep in
boxes.
dungeons. I get that.
Right,
That
right,
makes
right,
sense.
right.
But like just
Just
little
like it was-
outposts and
yeah.
little things that make
Yeah.
it feel like a living world.
Travelers, things
Yeah.
like that. I get it.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Let's move on. Let's move on to
Actually, before we do,
Okay,
really
never
quick,
mind.
sorry, really fast.
Well, that's not
One game I just remembered. I'm so stupid for not thinking of this. One game that did exactly what you're talking about. Majora's Mask.
Had people in it.
Everyone had a schedule.
Oh, yeah, that's right, they did.
Everyone was doing their own thing
Yeah.
all the time, and that's probably why it was one of the most critically acclaimed Zelda games
That's right.
ever created. And there was people
Skyrim.
everywhere.
Skyrim also had that. They also had a schedule, and so did Oblivion. People had a schedule.
That's
they went
even before
somewhere,
that.
and, you know,
You go back in the Elder Scrolls, all
well,
of them.
God,
You can go back to Morrowind had that.
Yeah.
I mean, they had. I think that was the first game I played where you could go to sleep and wake up, and time went by, and people's schedules did different
Right.
things.
Yeah.
It's Sunday. The church
instead of
bell
that
tower-
NPC that stood there every day, all day,
Yeah,
waiting for you to talk to them so they could repeat the same line to you.
but like in
Yeah.
Majora's
I've never
Mask,
left.
Yeah.
in Majora's Mask, like there was, like for example, in the ranch scene, there was a shipment of milk coming from the ranch to Clocktown, right? If you didn't save that particular shipment from the robbers that were going to take it, that milk never made it to
Yeah.
Clocktown.
That's cool. I never played that one.
That one, it was really great in that respect, and like
Epic quest.
another thing that I
Save
loved
the
about
milk.
Majora's Mask is you can never please everybody. You will
Oh,
always,
nice.
someone will always die, someone will always be disappointed, and someone will always like never find the love
This
that they're
should
supposed
this
to make.
should be like a Game of Thrones. Like
was
there should be a grittier version.
Very
of it.
dark. It was a very dark.
I do
game.
remember it being a little freakier than especially
Yeah,
that
it was.
moon.
It was good, dude. It was. I liked that. That was probably. It's probably one of my favorites.
So,
Moving on.
E3 also had a couple of new games new to the franchise, and here we're looking at Bloodstained, which is made by the group that made Castlevania. It's a Castlevania, essentially Castlevania
Side-scroller.
and it's more akin of Symphony of the Night. I don't know if you guys have ever played that.
Never played that one.
Love that's
Played
my favorite
Castlevania.
Castlevania. This is what you're seeing here is a speed run, so you don't get to see too much action. But she'll attack somebody. But one of my favorite franchises is the Castlevania franchise. And then next to us is Horizon Zero Dawn.
God, the game looks gorgeous.
This is some gameplay footage, and it looks really good. I think it's a PS4 exclusive.
It is.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
it
Yeah.
is.
I think so.
It is.
I don't know how I feel about exclusives and console exclusive games, especially because
I do. I hate 'em.
I really want to get something for PC. Like Witcher 3 came out for the PC, and I run it on full blast, and it looks amazing. It looks really, really good, and it not as PS4 version looks okay. It looks good too, but it's just not the same. If I plug it into the computer, man, it just blows it away. So to me, this could look 1,000 times better on my PC, and that's what I kind of want, is to be able to play it on my PC, just so, because I do say this a lot too. Okay, the game isn't about the graphics, but when you have a good game and you could improve the graphics, why not?
Right.
Why not put it to the full potential?
Well, so one it seems that Microsoft is kind of going to try to do something like
There's
that.
a big game change. coming
There's a
up.
huge
Pay
game
attention
change
to it.
because if you buy a game on Xbox One, you automatically get it for Windows 10.
oh, nice.
And
So-
what they're doing is they kind of would we all agree that Sony kind of won this generation? The PS4 is like
PS4 versus Xbox One. I would agree.
They've really...
Xbox One. They kind of dropped the ball with a lot of little things.
that announcement was terrible for the Xbox
TV,
One.
TV, TV,
Yeah.
TV, 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 TV,
Yeah,
TV,
that
TV,
was
TV,
sports,
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 yeah.
sports. Call of Duty,
Yeah.
sports.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
No one
really-
cares.
Yeah. Executives
Where
don't
is-
get it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But what's happening is there's someone who understands this stuff. They realize that when they try to fight Sony at console, all the like advantages of being Microsoft are in a big way negated. and they spend a lot of time and effort just trying to equal them versus they're like irking in their territory, their advantage. Be like, you're fighting someone in their environment and their settings and what they want and the way they have it set up, and you're losing because they have home advantage. What they want to do is they're going to slowly break down the wall between PC and console, and let that Microsoft control just spill it. If they made it one big environment, no more like console exclusivity and all that stuff. They're just going to leverage. They own Windows and they own the actual open platforms. It's very hard for Sony to compete with that. They don't have any of the right development. And
it's funny you bring that up because games for Windows Live used to be a thing.
Yeah.
Right? Windows Live used to be
a lot of other game platforms that used to be a thing that aren't because of Steam.
Yeah.
And it's funny to see Microsoft going this route again. Like they're returning to the days of Windows Live, only they're going to probably keep it all under the Xbox banner.
I think they know that Microsoft knows how to be not too invasive. Like, for example, they didn't force Windows 10 as a purchase, but they are kind of pushing it. They're getting what they want.
Some people are getting upgrades without even knowledge.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I've heard that business.
Yeah.
Mine kept pushing it.
Have you guys noticed when you install Windows 10, there's an Xbox store already like there, kind of?
Yeah, Microsoft Store, right?
I think they want to bleed Xbox brand, like a lot of their brands. Microsoft Word just went to Office 365, which is a cloud. They're bringing all their apps and their products into a cloud where they can deploy them as a controlled service. And they're probably going to take the Xbox store and free it from the hardware of only the Xbox to everything. And if they pull everything out of the Xbox and migrate it to this open thing and PC gaming's taking off, they're going to make a lot of money.
I don't doubt that Sony will follow with their own operating system and do the same thing. I don't doubt that they'll come up with their own OS for a PC and say, like, you know what, you don't have to have Windows anymore. Here's our own version.
I don't know how well that would get executed and how well they can...
Have you ever browsed the internet on a Sony device? I would beg for death or even Internet Explorer at that point.
That's the thing. They don't have to. Sony doesn't have to necessarily create it themselves. They could always outsource it.
There's so many things I
would think if they're gonna do that, they're gonna still have to piggyback on Windows or Linux.
What you don't think about when you play Sony game, when you're playing a Sony game, I'm pretty sure it's using DirectX, which is a Microsoft product, isn't it?
It's OpenGL.
Oh, everything?
Microsoft is the only DX game, or that the Xbox is the only console that uses DirectX. PlayStation 3, as far as I know, is OpenGL. I don't know about 4. I don't know.
I can't imagine. There's got to be multi-platform
games. And I know this because Uncharted, because that's what they were saying. They were saying it's so difficult to create something in OpenGL and then go to DirectX and create something for Xbox. That was the reason.
I always hear the opposite, that they have the hard time with dealing with PlayStation games.
Well, and sometimes it's that way too, because
that's the way
they'll
it was
develop
on
for
PlayStation
DirectX and then they'll go back to, or they'll try to convert to OpenGL and be like, there's a lot of code.
That's weird, because the only game I generally play on PC that I'm like, oh, this is OpenGL. It's like really random games like Quake, like the old Quake is OpenGL. Not really a lot of games nowadays.
And it's weird as well, because the things that are happening with DirectX, like they're like, tessellation. OpenGL's had that for a while.
Yeah.
They've had the technology for a while, and they keep improving it. They just Microsoft has such a tight grasp on. They're really pushing this DirectX.
They've been doing it for years, and honestly, if you were to go through Steam, I would say something like 80% of games use DirectX because there's very few games. There's a few you'll see that use. There's a game engine, the Unreal Engine, which is not quite. Then there's you'll see some of them that use Unity. Unity is another engine.
Unity is isn't that the Dragon Age Inquisition? Is that
Probably.
the one I'm talking about? I think.
There's a few games that use Unity. Unity's cool because it's open source and it can be run on Linux, it can be run on Windows. It's kind of a cool, and it can be run on mobile, which is kind of interesting. Like you played the Telltale games, like Walking Dead. They use Unity to run on the mobile devices. So certain things, but DirectX like 12 right now has some insane stuff. Like you're going to be able to use an ATI card and a GeForce card together and harness them well with DirectX 12. Some really crazy shit coming out for that, and that's good. It's just that's their strong point has been games, and DirectX is why they keep It's a big thing. It's like how they keep Windows strong. They keep Windows as the central. You know,
Yeah.
Steam OS tried to go play games without Windows, and
Right.
the everything suffered. And if Steam can't do it, Jesus
Well, who
Christ,
knows? You know,
that's harsh.
who
You know?
knows?
Look how long Steam OS has been trying. They made their own hardware. They've made it so every person can download Steam OS for free.
I don't
It's
know
just not
how.
taken.
I don't know how they're okay, so you have an operating system that can come with all these things, and Windows is really not for gamers. It's really not. It's for productivity and
Yes.
work, you know. But what if they did create an operating system that was just like it, instead of productivity centralized, it was centralized on gaming
Linux.
or you know something
Lin-
like
Well,
that.
that's what
Linux.
Steam OS is.
Steam
If you
OS is
haven't
based
messed
off of
with-
Linux.
Yeah.
Like
Steam
Linux,
OS is
so-
only games, and you know what's crazy is they get less performance through that than you do on Windows. The amazing
Wow.
thing is Windows has done such a good job of It's kind of like that feeling when you use your PlayStation and you're like, I don't want to browse the internet on this. I'm going to go use my computer. People don't want to specialize in the computer. You
Yeah.
want that Alt-Tab ability. That's an amazing feat.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a gaming right now, but I also would love to throw a YouTube video up on a browser right here, and I would love to post on Facebook
Well,
natively,
what I
the
mean
way
is,
it's supposed to be. You know,
is like Microsoft Word, Excel, all that stuff. That's what's.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look in the work environment, a lot of that.
right. But it's
I
cool to
also
be able
do
to
like
bring
my
that up.
graphic design stuff, you know. So it'd be difficult to
I'm
transition.
fairly certain that the operating system you're talking about would be Linux because I'm not 100% positive that the SteamOS was based off of Linux, but I believe it was because of the type of push that Steam was doing. Now everything is supporting on Linux. You know, you now run Steam on Linux, and you know, da 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 da. And the overall open-endedness of Linux makes making things for it very simple,
Yeah.
right? So maybe that's
I have wanted to try Linux out. I have plenty of hard drives I could spare.
Linux has had 30 years. I
Yeah.
haven't done it yet, so I don't see what Steam OS is trying to use Linux to do that. They've had over a year. They have their own hardware, and they are probably, I would think, user base wise, the biggest platform for games right now. Steam. They have
Yeah.
a huge amount of users, huge amount of game sales. I would even consider Steam more powerful than Xbox or PlayStation.
Steam is. I like Steam. I like where they went with it. No shows. This is what I gathered. I guess Kingdom Hearts was available, but here, let me look here.
I don't know if it was playable.
I don't-
No Man's
They were
Land.
in
Was
No-
there?
No Man's
there?
Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah. No Man's Sky had a banner.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. I have a
Nothing else.
problem with No Man's Sky because of its infinite game. That claim that it's a real time universe. You won't see your friends because
They're not going to be visible even if you were at the same
know.
planet.
Huh?
They're not visible in the game even if you were.
Oh, really?
It is a single player game.
It is.
The only thing you can do is if you discover a planet, you can name the things, and that it's like Dark Souls.
now that's even worse.
Yeah, I know. When I tell people that, they're really like,
That
"Ooh,
sucks."
You just ruined it for me."
I mean, I wasn't excited for it anyway because I don't want to
kinda
spend
was.
countless hours.
people keep
countless.
telling me they love it, and I don't think you know it's a single player game. Yeah, sorry.
Like I kind of thought that you'd be able to hey man, meet me at my planet.
Right, yeah. Let's shoot some robots, name some creatures, and then what?
And here's another interesting little announcement I just heard today. I don't know if you ever played Space Engineers. You can build spaceships in space. It's got zero G. You can fly around. It's like Minecrafty kind of. You make mining machines. You push asteroids with rockets into them, and they absorb it and turn it all into materials. Well, they just added planets, so now you can build your own spaceship from Lego pieces and fly around. Go to warp. Go into Atmo. Land on planets. And build bases.
That's also with Elite Dangerous.
I was about to
Yes.
say Elite
Elite
Dangerous.
Dangerous has,
but you played No Man's Sky and you see how everything's crafting based.
Right, yeah.
This is the difference. I kind of thought, wow, Space Engineers basically became No Man's Sky
Yeah.
multiplayer, with an update.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting? So you mentioned crafting, right?
Yes.
I don't know how many people out there play Elite Dangerous. I love Elite Dangerous. That's a great game to me.
It takes so much time
It's steep learning curve.
Yeah, yeah.
Steep learning curve. But once you master
Once you get
that
it, yeah,
curve,
yeah.
game's a blast,
Yeah.
right? New update, the Engineers update, right? crafting. You can craft your own type of weapons and stuff like that to add different effects to the ships and that sort of thing. Also, planetary landing. They're going to add. They're going to add co-piloting.
Oh, nice.
So that's going to be a thing.
That is so much. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. I can't stress, if you haven't played Space Engineers, it's pretty incredible. Like, you can build a ship that has gravity. People can walk around the bridge looking out the window while you're in this giant space battle. And two ships can hit each other, and you can literally plow the pieces and break the ship in half if you're heavier.
Nice.
So, like, fully and realistically go...
The physics.
And the bridge will bounce off of the top of your ship, and people will be inside the bridge like getting knocked around. It's really cool. It's like everything people see No Man's Sky go, oh, that's so fucking cool. Well, there's this little indie game people don't really know about. It's just not getting the hype that it needs as Space Engineers. And you can build all the shit. And the planets means now you can build the Star Trek Enterprise if you want. It's gonna take a while, but you can build like the hallways and fucking elevators and all this shit. Have 15 people on your ship walking around different parts of engineering, working on the engine, and warp around, kill people, land in Atmo.
This is crazy. We know what your priorities are. Warp around and kill people.
I like to warp around and kill people. That's what I like to do.
When we played that game, we didn't. We just built shit when I played.
I think that No Man's Sky realizes that, whoops, we're really behind. This is what we're going to do, but all of a sudden, 8 games now have it, and how can we stand out?
I was so hyped for No Man's Sky the first time I saw it.
Yeah,
it's still cool.
They became, and that's what happens with technology. One day it's current, second day, old news, because... in between there somewhere.
Well, I think their presentation kind of hid the fact there's no multiplayer.
Yeah.
But they show a lot of little multiplayer-esque things, but it's like Dark Souls 3, you can leave a note.
Right.
It's not really multiplayer.
You could summon people. You could multiplayer.
Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, but I mean, you could still
they had invasions
gather up
and
with friends. And
it's
stuff
not the way you expect it to be, though.
If you don't ever get to run into anybody.
Yeah, like they showed like multiple ships, like you were flying and there's like 2 ships in front of you. I'm like,
they're AI.
I assumed that they were supposed to be other people. You know what I mean?
No, if they're just, I mean, there it is with No Man's Sky. The purpose is all of a sudden really, really insignificant.
Yeah, like what's the point?
Yeah. So Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't even want to talk about it because that's not my thing, not my jam. It's for kids. At least that's why I say.
I'm not really into Kingdom Hearts either.
Dead Island 2,
played the first Dead Island. Meh.
Yeah.
Zombies are not my thing anymore.
And then, you know what that is? Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. No shows.
Yeah.
Why come to E3?
So a lot of companies actually don't. It's expensive. That's why even EA was outside E3 because they're like, that's too pricey.
Yeah, they are in the LA Live Square.
What amazed me is nothing about Metroid. I didn't hear anything about Metroid.
Nintendo was
only did Zelda.
And to me, Metroid is just as a big staple as Zelda. And
big one, but I don't know if it's the same level.
I
almost think sometimes Zelda might beat Mario. It's like very close, but I don't know if Metroid is that close.
Yeah, I don't know. I really expected something about a little blurb about it.
The Metroid game for GameCube. Was it just Metroid Prime or what was it?
So there's 3. There's Metroid Prime, there's Metroid Prime 2, and then 3 finally. So
Metroid Prime, the very first one that was for GameCube.
Yeah,
good game,
great game.
I love it.
Amazing game. Then I didn't play any other ones. I just wasn't interested.
Another lonely game.
You should have because the 3rd one was the best. You actually have people. There's the trilogy right here, and it's for the Wii U.
Don't have a Wii U.
Well, that's what it's for. And it's all, and the Metroid Prime, you don't have that weird controller anymore. You get to aim with whatever, and it's so fun.
I didn't mind the GameCube controller,
but it's better.
Interesting.
Another lonely game. Never run into anybody. Just emptiness. Just you and you're lonesome.
No.
Yeah, on the first one you don't. The second one you do. The third one there's people to talk to. You have a spaceship. You go. Yeah, there's
cool.
things going on. I really enjoyed the whole.
Well, a lot of those games I played in the old Nintendo was like monsters and endless labyrinths.
I had a. Where's my list of things? Because there's a. How about tech? Speaking of technology.
Yeah.
So Xbox is doing something new. Like you guys said, are they coming out with
custom
a new console?
controllers?
They are coming out with a new console. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Scorpio.
Scorpio, Project
well,
Scorpio.
I think Project Scorpio is different than the
But they have the small
the
one,
Xbox
too.
One S. I think Scorpio is separate than that. I think Scorpio is their VR project.
No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Scorpio, it has higher graphics. It has real 4K,
Real
60
4K.
frames, 60 frames
Okay.
per second. So it's more than that. It's a revision. Where the 1S is just basically, if you imagine, it's like an upgraded price drop. It's a price drop and it's small. It's like the PS2 Slim.
Right.
It's not an upgrade in graphics. It's just.
why all this push for 4K graphics, people?
I think-
what is going on, man?
I think that
It's
console's very afraid of getting left behind with the new GeForce that just came out.
Oh, the 1080.
Uh-huh.
Huge leap in technology happened, and now they're like, shit, like PC gaming is going to look like it's a full
Well,
100% generation.
I don't
ahead.
know why they.
Well, I don't understand why that's
they're
new
so
news.
scared. Yeah, like that's always been the case.
No,
you
but
know?
I mean, it always seemed like you watch Gears of War and you're like, that game looks good, you know, or you play God of War and the cutscenes, you're like, this looks good. But if you're looking at 30 frames 1080 to 60 to 100 frames 4K, you're going to say this is bullshit. Like, even
I
the
guess,
stupid
yeah.
peasantry of, like, that just have never even played PC gaming are going to go, that is bullshit compared to that video I saw.
Right.
You know, it starts to get to that point where the gap is too big.
Like, so one game that comes to mind about, jaw-dropping graphics, like, oh my god, that game looks amazing. Have you seen the very first gameplay trailer? I guess not really trailer, but gameplay walkthrough of The Division.
No, I haven't.
Game looked fantastic. It was gorgeous.
Ubisoft does it all the time.
Oh my god! Yeah, Ubisoft is the infamous graphics
Yeah.
dumb downer, that there is in
Yeah.
the gaming industry.
Like Watch Dogs.
But- oh my god!
Watch Dogs, they look so awesome.
Yeah.
It was really really difficult because we ran into the what was it, the
Creative design.
creative designer of Watch Dogs 2, and he's like, "What you saw is what it's going to look like." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, with the little
I have Watch Dogs for PS3, and I remember the reflection in the window. Like, that's not the reflection that's happening. This is a picture of something else, man. It's not it's not an. And I'm like, where am I? Where's my character?
I am a vampire.
What happened?
Yeah.
And it's every window like that.
Well, so back to my original point, the very first video of The Division, game looked fantastic. The adaptive reflection in the puddles, there was trash everywhere. It looked like the apocalypse had happened.
Yeah.
Right? The movement was sound and everything like that. All of it running on a PC. All of it. Right?
all the games generally
Yeah.
are. They're in dev kits, which are
running
PC.
running on a PC. Even Titanfall 2, which we played, was running on a PC, but
Even though
they forced us to use PlayStation controllers. The only game that didn't force us to use controllers was Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
Battlefield 1 was the only one that was not forcing us to use controllers. They had the controllers available, but they said you can go ahead and use mouse and keyboard if you would like. And, graphically speaking, the game is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like, that game is...
There is no real excuse not to be anymore.
Yeah, there's not. Especially,
Yeah.
the thing, too, is coming from DICE. DICE, they make great games. They make good-looking games,
Yeah.
right? I wouldn't say every game that they make is fantastic.
Once you have a good library of things,
Like,
yeah.
Battlefield 4 was horrendous when at launch. It was glitchy, buggy, and
Yeah.
terrible, but looked good. Which, we don't really... If the gameplay sucks, who cares about the graphics? But, that being said, having the consoles be, doing revisions, first of all, they're super expensive at the start, right? I bought my Xbox One for like $400, right?
Yeah.
That's a good chunk of change. I've had it for 2
You
years
should
now.
never do that again now
Maybe.
with 907 Gamers. You can pick up any console like half price used.
Right.
Anything.
True that.
I was like, I just posted, I would like to buy an Xbox One. I'm willing to pay $200. This is like 6 months in, and someone did.
Yeah.
Someone messed me. I don't want it anymore. If you got 200 cash, come pick it up. It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do from now on.
Just trade with
But
the
I just-
excessive amount
I
of
don't
people.
see myself buying something that can do 4K, and I'm talking even about the Project Neo, PS4 Neo,
Yeah.
the upgraded version. And this thing is the same thing, 60 frames, 4K. They're pushing the same thing, and I just don't see myself buying it because first, I don't have a 4K TV.
I was going to say that's
I'm not going to get a 4K TV.
Yeah.
for a while.
My 180. So like the one I have now, I'm like, it looks good to me, man. I'm watching movies on it. You know, I get a 4K TV. I'm still gonna have the black bars anyways on movies.
You know what you sound like right now?
An old man. I don't know.
I remember the tube TV. It looked just fine to me. I don't need them fancy smancy flat screens.
I mean, maybe my eyes are just, you know, at that distance, they're just blurring the pixels into one.
For me, I like 120 frames, and that ain't happening on 4K still. I love the high frames.
With the 1080.
Huh? Yes.
1080 is fine. Oh,
No.
Not on 4K, though.
The graphics card.
Huh?
I'm talking about the graphics card.
1080.
I'm saying, even on 1080, some games, like maybe Doom and some games I'll have, but a lot of them, they're low. They won't. It's not going to push 4K in that stuff.
They not 4K.
I would
have a 4K monitor.